For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, I am so excited that today is the day that we are going to learn how to dry brush, how to really learn how to dry brush. And we also have Matt Bellis of Liberty Health Share. I'm always excited when we get to learn a little bit more of what's happening in the health share industry or the healthcare industry. And so today, we're going to do a lot of learning. So I hope you share this video with all your friends, and so that we can continue taking our health back. So fasten your seatbelts because we're going to learn and grow together. Okay, guys, it's time to dance. Here we go.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who have been tuning in to the classroom since 2011, or maybe yesterday for the first time, I am so grateful for you. But if this is the first time that you've tuned in to the Lillian McDermott radio show / classroom, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends on Facebook.com / Lillian's radio show, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, today we have Liberty Health Share starting us off because it is still open enrollment, but we also have Kiki Flynn, who is a renowned Ashtanga Yoga teacher, wellness consultant, and personal coach for over 37 years. She has tons of experience. And I don't know if you remember when Dr. Suhas Shisarga was with us, and we talked about Ayurvedic care, it's self-care, and how to love your body every day. He shared about dry brushing. We talked about dry brushing, and everybody, I'm talking everybody, wanted to know, how do you dry brush? Well, I reached out in my old files and said, who do I remember that's been in the classroom that I could trust, that will show us the way? And that's why Kiki Flynn is here. And she has been up to some great things and learning some things about her body as well. That's why I've said one size does not fit all. And we have got to be our own medical detectives. And this is how we gain freedom, whether it's financial, health, wellness, relationship freedom, whatever it is that you're looking for, you are your own advocate. And I'm so excited that since it's our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge. You know, I bit my tongue today. I would show you my tongue, but it's very, very disgusting. I bit it almost in half. I need to be careful when I chew my food. Anyway, since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Kiki Flynn and Matt Bellis are here to do just that. Welcome, guys, to the Lillian McDermott radio show / classroom.
Thank you for having me. I think we need to say, yay, you did it. Good job.
I did. I got through it. And I seriously bit my tongue. I have never bitten my tongue so hard that blood is gushing out of my tongue. And well, anyway, I am not going to go into that because I really want to learn what is going on Matt Bellis in this open enrollment in the health share industry, and then we'll bring Kiki with us in a little bit as well.
Well, if you can tell, I'm in a different location than my normal home.
Yes.
We are actually out at a conference speaking to legislators about healthcare and what freedom in healthcare looks like and means, and how legislators interact with healthcare sharing, especially during this time of open enrollment where it's starting to wind down and end here soon. It's very important for individuals and businesses who are in healthcare to make their voice be known within the realms of government and regulation, to show how the policies that are set by state, local, and federal governments actually affect individuals and organizations whenever they're dealing with the realm of healthcare. So that's what I'm doing here today. And healthcare is one of those topics moving into new election cycles. That's going to be a hot topic for people to be speaking about, and we want to make sure those who are a part of healthcare sharing are still able to do so.
Absolutely. And so is there anything in particular that we need to be aware of so that we can contact our government ourselves?
Well, if there were something on the books right now to show that something needed to be done by members or other people who are interested, we would definitely let you know. So keep a lookout on your email, Lillian, because there are things that are being proposed in different areas of legislation, state, local, and federal, that could pose not necessarily a hindrance fully, but could add more complexity, more issues, more cost to the realm of healthcare and healthcare sharing. And so that's part of the reason why we do those things. Those things aren't on the dockets yet, but in some states they are. But overall, we're okay at the moment, and we want to make sure that members like you, Lillian, and others are able to continue being a part of Liberty Health Share.
Absolutely. So with Liberty Health Share, you talked about that we have open enrollment, but as I know, as a member, I've been a member for 3 years of Liberty Health Share, and I absolutely love the way that I have detached myself from the insurance world, saved myself a lot of money in the process, and controlled my health. So let's talk about this open enrollment that's all year long for Liberty Health Share, but mentally for the insurance world, it's now.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up that whole concept of anxiety when it comes to open enrollment or looking for healthcare, because that's the same message that I get constantly from people who are looking into the healthcare world, where a lot of times people have to go annually to look at their healthcare and look at what things are going to cost. Thankfully, I will say, as a trend, the healthcare industry has seen some decreases in cost, some better access, but there's still a lot of high-end costs, a lot of regulation that people have to really understand. But for members of healthcare sharing and Liberty Health Share, more specifically, they don't have to worry about those types of those time periods or having to look for new types of plans or programs, because once you're a Liberty Health Share member, we're not going to kick you out. And so we're not having you to reestablish all of your healthcare needs every single year. And you can join Liberty Health Share at any time of the year. So not only can you join it at this time of year, but any time. So if you miss open enrollment and you need something to take care of yourself, Liberty Health Share is here to help you out.
And so let's talk about the cost of Liberty Health Share. And for me, I know that it was going to cost me $500 a month extra to be added into my husband's insurance from work. And that's what prompted me to look beyond just, and plus I interviewed you guys. And so, and learned about it, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I did not know anything about Health Share at the time. That was 3 years ago. And so learning about Health Share and the fact that I have now control over where I go, and I have to remind people that it's a different mindset when you become a member of a Health Share. Now you are responsible for making sure that you follow up on things as well. And
Mm.
so I know that I've reached out to you guys many times because I have questions about my bills. I have questions about, but I am deciding where I want to get my MRI and what the costs are for that. And so it put me on the driver's seat. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah. And that's an important aspect to understand whenever we start talking about costs and healthcare. One of the reasons why people want to know why we're able to share have our share expenses at such a low rate is because we're doing things that are unleashing natural economic forces that drive the cost of healthcare down. Having individuals who are responsible for their own care and the management of their health care really does break open that little known cost containment tool that people aren't really tapping into, and that's the self-paid patient.
Correct.
And so because we're doing the right things, we're sharing medical bills, we're doing things, what's considered post-assessment, which is a better way of taking care of your healthcare bills. Post-assessment, we have individuals who are responsible for their own care, shopping, making sure that they're doing the right things with their health, taking ownership over their health, just like yourself and all the students here in the classroom. We see the benefits of those things. We have a lot of things that show us that we're on the right track, but the cost is one of those things. So if you were to join Liberty HealthShare as an individual, our most comprehensive program would be $299 per month for your suggested monthly share amount, $399 per month for a couple for your suggested monthly share amount, and for a family of three or more, mom, dad, all the kids, $529 per month for your suggested monthly share amount. So a lot of people look at that and say, that's great, but how can you do that? We do that because we put the right things first and the benefits follow.
Yes.
And so we've done that, and we know that folks like yourself can really appreciate it.
Yeah, because, even with paying the $500 extra a month, I still had a deductible of $5,000, a copay of $40, and with Liberty HealthShare, I pay my non-shared amount, which is $1,000, and I have my monthly membership. And once I reach 1,000 of the non-shared, then that's when Liberty HealthShare comes in and helps me as a good neighbor and up to $1 million per incidence, which is great. So I mentioned the non-shared amount of 1,000, right, for a single, but we have the couple, which is $399, and it's how much is it?
$1,750.
$1,750. And then for a family of three or more, $2,250. And that is still better than the $5,000 deductible that I had before. So, and I can go to my doctors. I can go to, because I have a natural, alternative, holistic approach to my health. I wasn't even using my insurance before. So we just have to look at things a different way. And when you look at it a different way, things change. And so I've been a member of Liberty HealthShare for 3 years, and I have loved my experience. And it's really nice to have an advocate at Liberty HealthShare that can help me when things don't go as planned. And so I'm always reaching out to you guys. Is there anything you'd like to add to the Liberty HealthShare and the different ways that of membership?
Honestly, you've done such a great job, and we've done these interviews so much, I don't even know why I show up anymore.
No, well, you add a different component because you're on the other side of Liberty HealthShare, because you're seeing how much waste is out there in healthcare industry. Yeah, and you guys
it's actually almost criminal whenever you look at those kinds of things. I've had friends tell me that they're at $5,000 per month or 14,000 deductibles, things like that. And I just think there are better ways and better options out there for people to find out.
Yes. And so we're talking, if you're interested in learning more, you can go to libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org or 855-585 855-4237. That's 855-585-4237. I cannot blame my tongue anymore for that. I gotta show it to you. Yeah. You see that?
Wow.
Did you see that? Oh my God. Yes, I was gonna call my doctor because I knew I was gonna need some stitches in my tongue. I'm thinking, can people do that? I thought I'd gross you out, Matt. I think I grossed Kiki out too. And maybe all of you.
So painful.
It was. I was like, Robert came in running in. He came in and like, why are you so, you're lamenting. What is going on? Like, I bit my tongue, but you know, sometimes you bite your tongue and ouch. No, this was like, I really bit my tongue today, but I'm so glad that I'm able to talk to you, Matt, and I don't have a lisp.
You're your own worst enemy, Lillian.
Yes, but yeah, I guess I was just so excited to talk to you and Kiki today. But you know, it's part of taking care of ourselves. So here's a tip for you: if you bite your tongue, go get an ice cube, freeze it. So, but thank you so much, Matt, for coming on. Liberty Health Share has completely changed the way I look at healthcare, and I am very grateful to your organization and everything that you're doing, and everything you're doing to improve Health Share as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care. We'll see you. So that's Liberty Health Share. You can go to libertyhealthshare.org, or you can go to Liberty Health Share call them at 855-585-4237. I haven't looked back once I made that switch. But now we're going to make another switch because our lymphatic system is a system that we do not really talk about. We only maybe hear about it when our glands are swollen or something's going on. And Kiki, I remember watching a video of yours that you did an actual where you showed how to do it. And you're such a picture of health. Thank you so much for coming on today. Share a little bit about your background and what led you to this lifestyle change of yours.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back. I think this is my third time here with you.
Is it? Wow. So three times a charm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I studied theater and dance, almost 40 years ago. Yeah. And we were really taught self-care and that we had to look after ourselves because as a performer, your body and your voice are your instrument.
Yes.
And so in addition to stretching and dancing, we learned yoga, Alexander technique, Tai Chi. I learned so many things in the early 80s. And I also learned self-shiatsu and foot massage and dry brushing about organic food. And so I made a lot of choices when I was 19 and 20 years old.
Wow.
I learned all about macrobiotics and vegetarianism and wheatgrass juice and juicing. And I started doing yoga. I was introduced to yoga. I thought it was amazing. And I just put together a little yoga session that I did every morning. And I had a morning self-care routine. Now everyone talks about self-care. I've been doing self-care for, 38 or 39 years. And I just found that made a whole difference to the day, to my body, mind, and my body-mind connection. Mm-hmm. And then I increased my dedication to yoga. I began traveling to India in, I think, 1995. Wow. And I've probably been to India 15 times for study trips anywhere from 3 months up to 6 months. And I learned yoga for therapeutics, everything around breathing, meditation, and then also a lot of Ayurveda home care, like how people take care of themselves in their home. And the foundation of Ayurveda is called Dinacharya, and Dina means day. And if we have anything wrong in our health, first we look at, well, how do we live each day? And am I getting enough sleep? Am I waking up, with the sun? What am I eating? How do I look after myself? What are my levels of stress? So that's really kind of the first medicine. And Ayurveda, you mentioned you just had an Ayurvedic guest on. Ayurveda means the science of longevity. And the Ayurveda is seen as a sister science of yoga. And recently I've also studied Sanskrit in India for over the last 20 years. So I can go to the source text, and that's very exciting. So I've been looking at the Ayurvedic ancient source texts, and it says, this is the science of longevity. And the reason we have a science of longevity so that we can live a long time is because we have to do our duty to this gift of human life and fulfill our duty to our parents who gave us life, and our duty to our own gifts to share them in the world, to earn our path on that, sharing our gifts in the world, to really enjoy everything that the world has to offer. Mm-hmm. And then as we near the end of our life, to put all that aside, to find the ultimate knowledge for freedom from suffering. And so in order to do all of that, we need a long life. And then the science of Ayurveda is shared. And a lot of the daily self-care, the foundational self-care in Ayurveda is actually daily oil massage. And that's called Abhyanga. And that's something that I share on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Kiki Says. Mm-hmm. And I started it, I think 9 years ago. And now people look at my channel and they're like, you were talking about turmeric way back then. You were talking about, all these different things. So it was groundbreaking at the time. And I even remember when I told people, well, I have a YouTube channel around wellness. And people would ask me, what's wellness? And now I'm happy to say we all have awareness around wellness and well-being and looking after ourselves. So I found that dry brushing, to me, it's the quickest, biggest, easiest win. You can dry brush your whole body in 3 minutes, or you can spend a little more time if you have it. Our lymphatic system is a second circulatory system, and our circulatory system of blood is moved by the pump of our heart and our lungs.
Correct, yeah.
But our lymphatic system is pumped through movement. Mm-hmm. So children and toddlers are hopefully moving all the time. Constantly. And, obviously things are changing with the popularity of tech for kids. They're not moving as much, but kids love movement, teens love movement, people that are athletically inclined. So their lymphatic system is always moving. But as we lead sedentary lives, our lymph stagnates. So we have thousands of lymph nodes. They're just tiny dots beneath the surface of our skin. And our lymph moves from the feet upward, and it kind of pools up here, and then it drains through the heart, and then cleanses through the blood and through the liver. And the lymph nodes that we're most familiar with are, as you pointed out, these glands here. Some people may have had swollen glands in their armpit or in their groins. Mm-hmm. And what's happening is our lymph is constantly cleansing fungus and bacteria and things like that. It's capturing it and circling it with like these lymphocytes and containing it to carry it out of the system. Mm-hmm. We'll hear about someone might have a cancer diagnosis, or a woman might be diagnosed with breast cancer and she goes for a surgery. And we might hear someone say, oh, yes, they removed this tumor, but they also removed 10 lymph nodes. Mm-hmm. So those lymph nodes, particularly in here, this is a very important area for women, all around the breast and all around the underarm and the upper arm and along this flank. Mm-hmm. These lymph nodes were gathering, trying to purify this cancer. But the job is too big for them and it gets totally backed up. So there's that cancer is in those nodes. These tiny nodes become swollen, and those nodes are removed. I think we're actually able to create more lymph nodes, and people have anywhere from, I can't remember the exact number, like 3,000 to 10,000 lymph nodes. It's like a constellation of stars or something throughout the whole body. So when we see like edema, like some people, you travel on an airplane and your ankles get swollen, or we see pregnant women will get edema in the ankles and the legs. That's actually stagnated lymph. Or people with diabetes or obesity will have this stagnation. So dry brushing helps all of that. And when we're dry brushing, we're supporting the lymph, the movement of the lymph, and our overall immunity. But it has the other benefit of we're also exfoliating our skin. So we're throwing off these dead skin cells, and we're revealing new skin, and we're stimulating new skin growth. We also, I think a lot of people have probably experienced this where they use oil, they use creams on their skin, and when they put a lotion on their skin, it just kind of gets milky and chalky. It doesn't go in. That's because of the dead skin cells on the skin. They don't come off with soap or something, but they will come off with dry brushing. And a lot of people ask, how is dry brushing different than wet brushing? Because of course we can use a loofah, a wet loofah, or these shower, sponges.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that when we brush, when the skin is wet, it's actually pulling on the skin in a negative way. When we dry brush, we don't have to brush hard. And we're actually kind of thinking like, I'm brushing the lymph through the skin, not like I'm scrubbing my skin off. Like teenage girls that just want to get rid of that acne. They're like, oh, I'm scrubbing my skin. So we actually never really want to be that harsh and, scrub our skin. We want to maintain this protective pH on the skin, the protective mantle of the skin. So it's actually not really even recommended to use shower gels or soaps or anything like that on the skin.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Kiki, because when you first started, you talked about the ritual of oil on the skin. So would you do the dry brushing first and then do the oil?
Yes. So what I do, and a lot of people are going to say, oh my gosh, I'll never have time for this. But I would say if you can do the oil on the skin, it's called Abhyanga. That even if you did it once a week, it's really nourishing. In the Ayurveda, one of the main concerns is there's these three qualities in Ayurveda, these three doshas. And actually the one that we're most concerned with, or that most people should be concerned with, is Vata. And Vata is dryness. And we see Vata, say, in the fall and the winter. Maybe not, I think you're in Florida, but, it's seasonally, people that live seasonally see that. We also see Vata in the later stages of life, where people develop dryness, their bones become brittle. Vata is also around the breath. We have reduced respiration because of reduced fitness and exercise and everything like that. So oil, this Abhyanga, using oil on the skin is very nourishing, not only to the skin, but in Abhyanga we can use these herbal herb oils, and so those herbs are penetrating the skin. Anything we put on the skin, yes, osteoporosis is. I'm just looking at the comments here on Facebook.
Look at you actually are looking at. You're the first teacher that has it there. Okay, so thank you so much. Yeah, osteoporosis. What about people who have issues with?
So we would say that osteoporosis is a vata condition because the bones are actually losing stability. They're becoming weaker.
And I want to add one of the reasons, and interestingly enough, I've had teacher after teacher after teacher come in the classroom and say that one of the number one reasons that people have osteoporosis is because of dairy consumption, because it actually pulls that out of the bone, the calcium. I forget exactly what it pulls out of the bone. Robert, you should be able to share that with me on a private
I think
chat.
it's I hear dairy, but also homogenized dairy, pasteurized dairy, but also calcium supplements that are supposed to support osteoporosis, because we actually need a very special balance of minerals.
Correct.
That if we have too much calcium, it throws off the balance of minerals. So those are pulled out of the bone, weakening the bones even further.
Yeah.
And
exercise does help that as well.
Yes. And what we want to be doing is really, I think, not just weight bearing exercise, because of course, if we walk around, we're bearing our own weight. And if we walk around with tiny little weights in our hands, okay, we're bearing our weight plus like 4 pounds or something. We actually want to be doing load bearing exercise.
What's the difference? I'm curious.
So a load bearing exercise means, let's say I took a barbell, even if it was light, like a barbell like this, and I was standing. And you guys, if you're going to do load bearing exercises, please check with the experts, because I'm sitting in a chair talking on Lillian's show. But just as an example, I'm using it as an example, but I highly recommend load bearing weightlifting, but I'm not teaching it to you now. Check with your, your doctor.
Everybody who listens to the classroom, the teacher in the classroom needs to do their own research, because if they just repeat what we say, then this is no different than what the media does. We want you to go out there and research it to see if it's what's best for you.
Thank you. So load bearing, I'm standing safely. I have, let's say, a 20-pound weight here, and I put it over my head. Now I'm bearing a load over my wrist joint, my elbow joint, my shoulder joint, my hip, my pelvis, all the joints down to the knee and the ankles. I'm bearing a load. And it would just be like, we could think of mothers in traditional societies bearing a load of carrying a child, having a child on her back, a child on each hip, a load of laundry, of people carrying firewood. We would have carried loads every day, and that creates our joint health. When we're sitting in soft, cushy chairs and we're wearing soft, cushy sneakers, we are actually deteriorating our joints and our ability to even carry the own load of our own body. So we actually want to find a way to increase our muscle throughout our life, because sarcopenia, or muscle loss, is actually a cause for a shortened life. So I heard something interesting recently from a doctor, and he said a very strong factor in the death of chemo patients is muscle loss. Because having no muscle is a sign to the brain like we're near the end of life. And that's why maintaining weight through chemo, or, through, even this was for like AIDS, etc., this sarcopenia, this wasting is so dangerous. If we look at our elderly population, we see these little incredible shrinking little old ladies. And so we actually want to do we want to do weight bearing, but we want to do load bearing, and we want to figure out how to keep maintain our muscle and increase our muscle. And that doesn't mean we have to look like bodybuilders, but we do want to build. We don't want to waste or lose.
Okay. Now, do you hold it up for a long period of time, or do you just bring it up and that's
what I recommend would be learning, as I never thought I would do this. And, that's what's so exciting about life's adventure is, I've always been interested in what is optimal health, optimal movement, kind of performance, because I became a performer, I was drawn towards performing, and I studied dance and competed as an athlete from my teenage years. So I would recommend those classic, what they call a deadlift. You're in this very safe kind of squat position, and you're picking up a bar from the ground and putting it down and picking it up, or to a bench. But you would work with a trainer, a skilled trainer, to show you this. So I'm doing these classic deadlifts. I lift up a bar and put it down kind of with a straight angled back. And then I hold the bar here and I do squats, safe squats. So I'm bearing that load. Our glutes should be our strongest muscles. Those are what are powering us. And if we look at our running and jumping athletes, male and female, if we look at Serena Williams, we're going to see powerful glutes, right? And if we look at, running back football players or great jumping basketball players, male and female, we're going to see these glutes. So squatting is about, being in the posterior chain, the back of the legs, of, the glutes and the hamstrings and the calves. These are our big motivators. So doing squats with proper technique, with the weights, is going to give us incredible load bearing for the hips. Very important for women, because these hips are this is an area where women age, they stumble, they break a hip. And then we do this, lift. You can take the barbell from down here to here and up. And coordinating with your breath, knees are slightly bent, etc. And so to me, I know most people don't want to go to the gym. If they go, they want to get out of there as fast as possible. I think that like dry brushing, which is a quick, easy win, 3 minutes or less, and you get so many benefits. Just these basic exercises, if we could get into the gym, or we have a little home gym, and we did 20 minutes of something consistently, do the right thing that's going to get you the biggest results.
Perfect. So let's go back to dry brushing, because that's where I want us to maybe start with, 3 minutes. Just delete 3 minutes from Facebook surfing. And, maybe even, I don't know.
What I would say
there's so much time that we have that we waste that is not to support our body.
Right. What I would say, you wake up in the morning, chances are, you hit the snooze a couple times, you get out of bed, clomp into the kitchen, push the coffee button, and then walk into the bathroom. And while your coffee or your water, your tea is boiling, you are just doing this thing. And it is going to actually wake you up like a cup of coffee. What I do want to say is, people that have never dry brushed before, because we are moving toxins as we move this lymph, some people may get a little nauseous, almost like they're going to vomit, or they might. And this isn't going to happen every day, and it's not going to happen on your way to work, but you might even feel like, oh my gosh, I have to use the bathroom right now.
Yeah. Because
you're moving this lymph, you're moving these toxins, they're dumping into the bloodstream, and you're getting like this cleansing detox reaction. So start slow. And if someone is very fair-skinned, in the way that if you touch their skin, it turns red. Some redheads are like that, or people that burn in the sun easily.
Yeah.
If you touch your skin and it will turn red from that, use a dry washcloth. Don't use a brush.
Is there a dry washcloth that actually has bristle? It's just a regular dry
because
cotton.
That person, that very fair-skinned person who turns red very easily, they should not use a brush because they're too sensitive.
Okay.
They should just use an organic cotton face cloth or like an organic face cloth that's clean, and they're just gonna stroke it in the same way over their skin.
Okay.
If you have a rash, if you have some open skin, don't dry brush that area.
Okay.
So
and natural bristles. We don't want synthetic bristles either.
You do. You want a natural bristle brush, and there's a couple natural bristle brushes. Some of them are a fiber, and so I think that your one without the handle is a fiber, like a plant fiber.
It's a cotton. Not
yeah,
cotton.
It's a
coconut.
Yeah.
Husk.
So there's some different plant fibers that are used.
Got hair in here.
I know, they get hair in them. Don't share your dry brush, people.
No.
They're only $5.99.
I know, they're so cheap.
And you know what? It's the best holiday gift you could start giving out. Is just start giving everyone dry brushes.
Stocking stuffers.
It's a great stocking stuffer. And then the other ones, I'm not sure if that one there with the handle. Some of them are traditionally animal. So like there's a great German company. They make these traditional brushes. Some are for babies. They're like goat hair. They don't actually kill the goat. They just shear the goats. But that's a very old tradition for goat hair.
Is that okay? Can you use
hair?
that?
I think it is okay. They're very, long lasting, and they'll biodegrade. Right? It's hair, it'll biodegrade. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the feet.
Okay.
And I'll demonstrate a moment. We're doing these smooth strokes up. In a sense, we're brushing through the skin. I'm touching the lymph. And you can do like 3 or 4 strokes up, pulling up. We would move from the feet up and and good.
I go long.
Go long. Don't do these short little things.
I don't have time for short.
Right. Go long. Long is the best.
Yeah.
And then you can do circles on.
I've never done that.
Joints.
Oh.
And then pull it up the joint.
Okay, so the arms are kind of like the last things I do. We start with the feet, right?
Yeah.
You're going to show us?
Well, I'll try, but I'll try to show you just from where my camera is.
You want to stand? You want to bring it down?
Well, let's see.
Yeah, I can see your feet. Go. Look at those pretty feet.
There you go. So I can start on the foot, and I'm pulling up the foot. I can be on the arch and coming up, and then I can brush up, up. And it's real self-care. You can have these very nice thoughts in your head.
I love myself. There we go.
I love myself.
I am enough. I am enough.
I'm more than enough. And you might even say like, oh, someone might think like, oh, I wish I was thinner. I wish I didn't have this cellulite. Just be like, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Yes. So but dry brushing helps with cellulite, right?
It does, because that's a lot of like, these are like pockets of toxins and lymph in there. So that's going to break it up. People can see a lot of change in the texture of their skin. So then you're coming up over your buttocks and, coming up. I'm all like dressed in dark.
Of course you would be naked.
Coming up, you would be naked, and you can sit on the edge of the tub.
So the dry skin can fall. The dry skin can fall in the tub.
Into the tub. You can put a towel over the toilet seat and sit there if that's more comfortable. I don't recommend sitting on the toilet seat because every time you flush the toilet, a gazillion little bacteria go everywhere. When we get to the stomach, and I'm just lifting so you can see a little contrast, our colon comes up on the right, the ascending colon, across and down on the left. So we can do this in the morning, circling clockwise.
Clockwise. Don't do the
The
counterclockwise,
movement
right?
of the colon clockwise.
Mm-hmm.
And then back here, clockwise. We're still
Oh,
getting
I've never done the back.
colon
Doing it
clockwise.
right now.
Good.
Okay, clockwise.
And then we're coming up here, up, 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 up. And then I would go to the arms, as we did. And then very important, it's as if we're taking the lymph.
Can't bring your camera up now.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. There we go. Because I'm trying to peek over,
I know
peek
you're
under.
like, I can't see.
I can't see it.
So we're basically, you know, a woman would be lifting her breast because we have so much important lymph around the breast and through the breast, and we want to have lymphatic movement there. So we would hold our breast out of the way. We would come under the breast with these arched movements. We're pulling it up, you know, both sides, and we're coming from the arms, from the underarms. It's almost, and the neck, we come from the neck down.
Yeah.
People ask me.
I saw someone do this and they were going upwards.
No.
I'm like, no, that's away from the heart. We want
Everything
to go
comes down to the heart.
Correct.
So we want to feel that we've gathered everything into this area. It's like if you're sweeping the floor, I sweep everything into a corner and then I get it out. We're going to sweep everything over here, and then we're pulling, you know, these down the neck are very important. And then from here under the arm, the flank, and then brushing it.
And of course,
out.
I'm doing this with my clothing on.
Right.
And what about, okay, Kiki, we didn't have much time to talk before, and I don't know if you've been following, but back on August 23rd, I had my implants taken out.
Yes, and
so
I read some of that and followed some of it.
Yeah. So I have scars. And so people who have scars don't realize that it's not just the outside, but it's internally as well.
That's right.
And that backs up the lymphatic system.
Right.
And
that's
so
right.
when the lymphatic system backs up, you might feel pain in other areas. For me, my knees, because I was a dancer as well, and one of the reasons I stopped dancing was because I had so much deterioration in my knees. I've never had knee surgery because the goal was to keep the muscle strong. And as long as my muscle was strong, I was okay. But after the surgery,
wow,
I experienced a lot of knee pain, believe it or not. Not only in the breast area, but also in my knee and a little bit on my back. So I've been grounding a lot. And
Great.
So grounding has helped. I've got an indoor mat, which they're one of my sponsors, Ground Therapy.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever done grounding inside your house, but that's what I sleep on a grounded bed now. So with that has helped eliminate some of that inflammation. And I'm sure that my lymph nodes have been acting overtime. Is there anything you can add about that?
What I would say with scars is it's very beneficial to massage scars with castor oil.
Castor oil. I do under my eyes. You taught me the castor oil under my eyes. Yes. I still do that.
Castor oil is an amazing oil. It's probably used in commercial skincare more than any other oil. And it is actually good for oily skin and dry skin. It's great for, under eye, kind of dark under eye circles, and it's great for scars. And because it's deeply penetrating, castor oil is one of the most penetrating oils. Mm-hmm. So again, it's really about love, but I definitely would recommend massaging the scar tissue with castor oil with positive affirmation,
Absolutely.
and with a really firm belief that scars can change. I had a knee surgery. I tore an ACL when I was 17 years old and had a knee surgery, and it's been very successful. But I remember, I was a teenager and I was really, felt ashamed. I had this giant scar on my knee, and my mom was like, well, why don't we try this, vitamin E oil? And I remember measuring my scar. It was 11 inches on one side. This is before microsurgery. And it's now like 4, and I massaged it like every single day. And it just shrunk and shrunk. Now it's like, it's there. I have a scar on my knee, and because it's on the part of the knee that bends, that what doesn't disappear because it moves all the time. But people that have known me for 10 years, 15, 20 years, they'll go, do you have a scar on your knee? And I'm like, yes.
Didn't know that about you.
So I strongly recommend the castor oil. One thing I would say about the castor oil, everyone who's listening, it's great for like under eye circles. It's great for like just a beauty mask. And you can see a lot of castor oil videos on my YouTube channel. And a great thing about castor oil is it will actually grow your lashes and your eyebrows. But I have a warning. A lot of women get a dark, like a frill of hair. They get extra, they have hair here. And a lot of women may have darker hair here or darker hair here. If you get darker hair that you are unhappy with, around this area or this area, don't put castor oil there.
Correct.
It will increase, it could potentially increase that hair. So I know women do laser hair removal on some of their facial hair. So if you've invested in laser hair removal, you don't want to put the castor oil there, but it's fine just in this area of your face.
So before we go on, I love Keep Me Safe Organics, as you know, but at night, Kiki taught me to use castor oil, and I also use the serum all over my face, but I use the castor oil and I absolutely have used it religiously. I do want to thank my sponsors, because without my sponsors, there would be no class. I want to thank my sponsors like Liberty Health Share. You can go to libertyhealthshare.org, Keep Me Safe Organics, which you get 10% off. And it's all organic, non-synthetic, and what was the other? Non-synthetic, all organic, and you get 10% off. Just go to whenyouneedafriend.com and to my sponsors button and check out my sponsors. First Alternative Care. We have Stephen Grable, Complimentary Care in Jacksonville, Florida. The pharmacy in Merritt Island, Live Longer Medical, and of course Ground Therapy. And you too can be a student in the classroom, an enrolled student, and you can help donate and spread this information. But go to whenyouneedafriend.com, follow and like and share. We have so many giveaways. We have so many things that we do so that we can grow together. Today, we have been talking with Kiki Flynn. And Kiki, you can find her at kikinyc.com. She's also, and when you go to her website, you can click on follow her, and she has all the information like I do. It's so easy to take ownership of your life and say, okay, there are other people who are doing this before me. Research everything. Everything she might do or everything I might do may not work for you. Figure out what works best for you, but a collective of the whole, it all works, it all helps. And so I am just always thrilled when we can learn something different, like dry brushing today. One of the things, Kiki, and what I wanted to do is continue on after the podcast is done, because this area right here, I don't know if I can, right here, the leg area, and how you vigorously dry brush that area and the thigh and the glute area. I want you to go through that. So for those of you who are listening on podcast, you can join us at facebook.com/Lillian's radio show and be a part of the classroom, and you can ask your questions right here live. whenyouneedafriend.com. And so thank you, Kiki. I know we're going to
continue. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything you do. I'm so happy to come back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're going to continue our conversation after the credits or after the disclaimer. And anybody who has questions can ask their questions. So
I'll
please
be
remember,
here.
We'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Kiki Flynn wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Good job, Kiki.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Amen. Okay, so here we go. If you have a question for Kiki, you can type in a Q in the comment section and ask away because we have about 15 minutes. Yeah. Are we looking at more questions? Okay. So this is important information. This is great information. Our lymphatic system are trash collectors. They really are. We just got to give them a helping hand. And whether it's the 3 P's that can get the lymphatics drain, it's the pee, poop, and perspire. So those are the 3 P's that we should be thinking every day. So again, show us how to vigorously, you do a great job with your thighs and your buttocks, but show us how to do the thigh and the buttocks.
Okay. One thing I do want to add is that I know that, a lot of people that have illness, people with type 2 diabetes, people with obesity, they actually, they're unable to motivate to exercise because of the impact of the illness and how the brain is preserving their energy. And so for people that really just cannot imagine exercising, people that are recovering from, fatigue syndromes and everything like that, dry brush. It really is a way to foster, increased health and give you a feeling of exercise, of vigorousness. So I guess that, I would say, people say to me, like my ex-husband used to say, like, oh my God, Kiki could dry brush with like sandpaper. So I have very soft skin, but the more that we dry brush, the more we can take a rougher brush.
Yeah.
Your dry brush, if you use your dry brush every day, it's harder when you get it, but your natural oils of your skin and then the toxins in your skin are going to break the bristles down. Your first dry brush might only last 3 or 6 months. And one day you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is totally flat. But get a new dry brush. Once you've been dry brushing, your dry brush might last you 3-5 years.
Oh, okay.
But initially, because you're dry brushing for the first time, so many toxins are coming out of the skin, they're weakening the fibers of the brush.
Oh, okay.
And so when your brush no longer has any bristle feeling, that looks fine to me. People will show me their brushes and they'll be like lying down.
Well, I will tell you that this was probably my first dry brush, and I didn't dry brush a lot. I started doing it. I was really excited about it, and it was painful to me at first.
Right.
And then now, I mean, I can do this,
right,
which is a harder.
Oh yeah, I know that brush.
Yeah, it's a much harder brush, and I love how it feels now on my skin.
I think it becomes like a good addiction.
Yeah. Okay, so
I would say, okay, yeah, I wouldn't be shy around, if you feel that a particular part of your body has edema or dimpling or kind of unwanted fat or something, don't feel dainty. You can really get in there. So obviously I just have whatever these jeans on, but I certainly feel like I will really like brush this area, like no problem. I'll just brush, and I might even circle there and then brush up. So same, everything.
Yeah. And do you go like with the thigh, in the thigh area, do you also go around or do you just go brushing up? You don't go around like in the stomach area?
You're going around because you're sort of stimulating your morning bowel movement.
Yeah, but not in the leg or the thigh. You just go up. That's the only stroke is up.
That's right. And then I manage to, I don't use a stick on my dry brush because fortunately I can actually.
I got gorilla arms.
Yeah. And I know mostly men prefer having it on a stick because they're not used to going back there and scrubbing. I think women are used to like taking their bras on and off. So they have a little more like flexibility.
We have a little bit more dexterity. Yes.
Exactly. We do this every day. So yeah. Any questions here?
If anybody has any questions, type in a Q and then we can go further. Another question that I have for the castor oil, for anybody who wants to run out and get castor oil, I noticed that there are different kinds. Cold press, I believe you told me it must be cold press. Is there anything else that we should look at?
I would look for organic and I would look for cold press. There's one that I recommend on my website. If you go to, kikinyc.com or kikiflynn.com, and it's Banyan Botanicals. And because they are a B Corp, and so they're following, they've all these sustainability guidelines and how workers and employees are treated and everything like that. So castor is actually harvesting castor oil. There's a toxic part of the castor plant. And so we want to be sure that the castor oil is ethically harvested and that it's mostly a women's farming. Oh, good. Kimberly Boxer Friedman says she puts castor on her eyelashes at night. Yeah. Well, that's very smart of you, Kimberly. I'm sure you have some beautiful lashes.
Yeah.
Yes, I like working with companies where you can sort of trace the sustainability. And castor oil, anyone that owns a car is heard of castor. Because one reason castor oil it's pretty expensive as an oil. It's not, you guys, if you're going to buy like 8 ounces of castor, store it in the refrigerator, it's going to last you a long time.
Oh, do you store it in the refrigerator?
All oil should be stored in the refrigerator because oils go rancid very easily. So what I recommend for any beauty oils, and if you're using these beautiful serums, I would store everything in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Because the hottest room in the house is the bathroom, other than the kitchen, because we're turning on the shower, it's steamy. So what you can do is you can take a small, let's say you have castor oil, you have an 8-ounce container or 16 ounces, keep it in the fridge, but take a little 1-ounce container and keep that in your bath, like put it into a small container that you keep in your bathroom. That's just like a month's supply or less. But you won't have your whole 8 ounces going rancid in the hot bathroom. You'll just have this little 1-ounce supply. And when it's done, so if we ever smell oils and they have that kind of acrid, funky smell of like old walnuts, or, sometimes then it's rancid and it's going to be toxic. It's anything we put on our skin, it's going to hit our liver. Rancid oils are very bad for the liver. So, same thing with cooking oil. Most people leave their coconut oil next to the sink. They leave next to the stove. They leave their olive oil next to the stove. Hottest place for oils to be.
Correct.
So if you're cooking with coconut oil, put it in a little smaller jar, keep the bulk of it, if you're buying, a gallon, a half gallon at a time. Same with your olive oil. Keep it mostly in the refrigerator and just keep 8 ounces out in a little dispenser. And when you're done with that, refill it from the fridge.
Somebody brought me olive oil from Israel, and it was beautiful and green. It was just, and he was saying that this was so potent that it was medicinal. You could put it on the skin.
Right.
So I put it in the refrigerator and it crystallized on me.
Well, then did you take it out and melt it again?
No, I used it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I used it.
Yeah, it will. So depending, on the oil, there's a certain temperature at which it becomes hard, and there's a certain temperature that it's liquid. So we just when we want it in the liquid state, we just take some of it off, have it liquid, keep it at room temp. Yes.
Okay.
Depending on the temperature, your refrigerator, your olive oil can turn hard like coconut oil.
I did not know that. And so this was he had just brought me just a little bit, and
oh, nice.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And so, but my castor oil, I'm trying to find it because I thought I took a picture of it and sent it to someone I had mentioned it during a class one time. But my castor oil says without this
hexane.
That's it. Hexane. So tell me about hexane.
So most oils are pressed from seeds, and most oils are, so a cold pressed oil is pressed cold, and some machine, an old fashioned machine or pressure is put on the seeds and the oil comes out. And the heat is not changing the quality of the oil or making it go rancid. A quicker way to press oil is to use a solvent to separate the oil from the seed, and that solvent is highly toxic and it's called hexane.
Okay.
So it probably doesn't matter if you're using the castor oil that's used in the car, but certainly on our skin, we want to use all cold pressed oils.
Correct. Very good. Very good. Well, Kiki, this has been very enlightening. I want to continue these conversations with you because
I know I could talk to you all day.
I know this is great because this is something I wanted to get back into, which is, get back into the self-care routine. Everybody tells me, who has the time? We all do.
We have to take the
time. We just need to make it a priority. That's it.
That's right.
Right?
And if we want to extend our time, people don't know the value of their health until it's gone.
That's true.
And then it's very hard to get it back. It can be done. People do it, but it's very hard. And if people feel downtrodden, they've lost their health, they're going from doctor to doctor to doctor. Pills and medicines do not make our illnesses go away. They just suppress the symptoms. We still need to take care of ourselves. When doctors say, oh, just keep eating what you were eating before.
Fire them. Yeah.
Fire them and call Liberty.
Liberty Health Share. No, so here's the thing. I always tell everybody that asks me about, picking a good doctor or whatever. I always say, look at your doctor. Does your doctor look healthy? And if the answer is yes, the doctor looks healthy and they are supporting what you want to accomplish, then good job. But if you look at your doctor and they are they don't look healthy, they are perhaps maybe even smoking, and you can tell when somebody smokes, and perhaps not living a life not eating the right foods. You can tell when somebody's not eating the right foods. Fire them. Because if they can't take care of themselves, how are they going to be your advocate? How? So it's so important that we become our own MD, our own medical detective. And I know, Kiki, and I do want to have you back to talk about your health crisis that you've been experiencing as well, because
Well, the good news is I came out the other side.
you
so
are, and that's because you became your own medical detective.
I was not going to give up. I was going to solve the problem, and
Absolutely.
I did.
Absolutely. And so it's wonderful when we can say, okay, this is not right. My body is speaking to me. I know this is not right. But then you go to a doctor and the doctor convinces you to take a pill. And that pill, like Kiki said, is not solving the problem. That's why my registered service mark is you can take a pill, you can take responsibility. And it's not that I'm against the pill, is that I'm for doing whatever it takes to live the life that you want. So with that in mind, Kiki, thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much,
being a part of the
Lillian.
classroom today. And
I'm so glad to be here.
yeah, I'm looking forward to our next conversation. So let's say goodbye for now. We're going to say
Goodbye.
goodbye to our friends on Facebook, and then our friend, make sure you share and like and follow so that this information will continue to grow. We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.